Are you looking to do this? Well, look no further because I'm going to show you all the exercises and things that I've done to help me learn this handstand push-up. The handstand push-up looks incredible. I love doing them. They're great for shoulder strength, building shoulder muscles as well. And they're just really fun to do. I found it very challenging when I first started to learn the handstand push-up and even the handstand in general. But once I got that handstand, I really wanted to take it to the next step, which was learning the handstand push-up. This is not really a completely easy journey, but it's definitely doable if you apply these steps and these tips to your training. So without further ado, let's go ahead into the video. Two overlooked things are going to be shoulder mobility and wrist mobility. You can easily overlook these things because it seems not as important for the handstand or even the handstand push-up, but these things are important. You want to do some stretches that will help you gain mobility over time. This is something I lacked and didn't do in the beginning, which has prevented me from accomplishing my handstand goal as quickly as I possibly could have. But after applying this step, working on my wrist mobility and stretching, I was able to get better. I was able to stack my shoulders and my hips over my head because I had that mobility in my wrist now. Another thing that's overlooked is the amount of pressure that you will feel on your wrist. Yes, it's going to be completely different from pressure of a push-up, doing shoulder taps or something like that. You're basically putting your whole body over your head. So that's going to put some pressure on your wrists. What helped me was wrist mobility drills and also having a wrist wrap. Wrist wrap was very helpful for providing some stability and protection over my wrists whenever they would get very fatigued and tired, which will happen starting out. Yeah, I'm just going to show you those stretches really quickly. So I'm just going to go side to side for the first one side, the other side. And I like to do this for about 20 to 30 seconds. And then you're going to go front and back, forward. And this is going to help with applying some pressure on your wrists. Then you're going to go back, forward, and then back. And then this one here is really good for gaining some flexibility. So stretching back, just like that. And going back forward, and then back into position. And you can also do this too. Just apply some pressure forward and then back on that. And then another great one I like doing was rotating my wrist just like so. You just go clockwise and then counterclockwise and just kind of mix it in between. So when it comes to shoulder mobility, you can start off here, but what's gonna happen are my feet are gonna fall forward. I'm not gonna be able to get my feet, my hips over my head, and I'm just gonna keep falling forward and over and over again. So you eventually wanna get somewhere around here to where your shoulders are kind of at your ear level. So what I did for that, you gotta really work on stretching your lats, especially if you're doing a lot of pulling movements. The lats are gonna be really tight, so you wanna stretch those lats. I also use a foam roller, just kind of foam roll on my lats to kind of release some of that tightness in my muscles as well. And I would also do some band exercises or stretches to kind of help with gaining the overhead mobility. So those are some overlooked things that you definitely want to work on within your training sessions. Another thing that will be overlooked is going to be hamstring tightness as well. The more flexible your hamstrings are, the more easily you can bring your feet over your head. Now getting into what you're probably were waiting for, which is the exact exercises that I've done to help me learn the handstand push-up. And it starts with, the basic. You want to do that pike hold. The pike hold is first step into gaining awareness, what it's like being upside down, putting pressure on your shoulders, and then having your hands and wrists, forearms, basically your whole arm in a straight line. So you want to start there, and then you want to get into pike push-ups. If you feel like those are easy, you can definitely get into pike push-ups. Pike push-ups are great for strengthening your shoulders, triceps, wrist, forearms, all of that. Your core is great for, again, building that strength in your shoulders that you need. And it also replicates the movement of the handstand push-up, because with the handstand push-up, you're not going to be going straight down as you would think. You would go at an angle for that handstand push-up. So you're kind of leaning forward like you would in the pike push-up, then pushing forward. So that's why doing exercise like the pike push-up is very important, because if you're doing something like a overhead press, yes, you can gain some strength from that, but it's not really going to translate into helping you with that movement pattern that's applied with the handstand push-up. But yes, I would advise doing some weighted exercises like military press or even a shoulder press, just because it helps build some strength in your shoulders. With weight, and of course with weight it's a bit easier, you just keep increasing the weight. But when it comes to increasing the intensity in your shoulders, you can do elevated pike push-ups. Elevated pike push-ups, again, you're using more of your body weight when you're doing that. And again, you're still replicating that same movement, going from leaning forward, getting those arms at a 90 degrees, and then pushing up and back into that hold, pike hold again. And some honorable mentions that you can use are going to be parallettes, which help increase range of motion. You're able to get deeper into that pike push-up and overall help increase your strength. And then you can also use a weight vest. Weight vest, again, you're adding more weight to your body, making it more challenging for yourself and increasing that intensity. Making it more difficult, so when you start to learn the handstand push-up, you'll be able to do it a bit quicker because you had added that intensity. But definitely you want to make sure you get at least 3 sets for 10 reps down with just regular pike push-ups, and then the same thing for elevated. And then if you want to, you can even implement some of that weighted vest into the equation along with the parallettes. And I don't know if anybody's ever talked about this one, but this actually helped me learn the handstand push-up, was the L-sit to handstand. What this did for me was help work on my core engagement, my body awareness, and being able to press up into the handstand from that L-sit position was a way to help strengthen my shoulders, strengthen, again, my body awareness and my core. I practiced these a lot before learning the handstand push-up. I'd say I practiced this probably right after I learned the handstand, and that's when I started really diving into the skill. But I found it very helpful for me to learning the handstand push-up. Another great one, which is probably one of the best exercises that replicates the handstand push-up pretty well, without fear of falling or anything like that. That's going to be doing a handstand push-ups against the wall. Basically, your chest is going to be facing the wall, replicating that same movement, and then you're going to be going down and up into that, going down into that 90 degree, and then pushing right back up. This helped really build some serious strength in my shoulders for me, and by replicating the movement of the handstand push-up, it made it easier to apply. When I learned the actual handstand push-up, it made it easier for me to be able to replicate that movement of leaning forward instead of coming straight down into the handstand push-up. And another tip here is just simply practicing it over and over again. That's exactly what I did. I kept practicing it even when I fell, even when I messed up. Yes, it was very frustrating and humbling, but I really was focused on getting this goal. And by practicing over and over again, I started to learn over time what I was doing that was helpful, and you want to record yourself. Record yourself. I always recorded myself every time I practice just to see what I could have done better to improve my form, what went wrong in my stacking or my shoulder mobility, if I was pushing enough into the ground, anything like that. Being able to record myself, I was able to see those things. And I also want to say, maybe for me, doing it on parallettes was a lot easier than using my hands, because I had more control over my balance, which is something I struggle with my hands. But I would say practice both. I would say practice one for maybe a month, then switch for another month, practicing on your hands. Just find what works better for you. I found parallettes work better for me, and I learned the skill that way, I think, a lot quicker than I did on my hands. But other people kind of do it, the opposite way. So I'll say try what works best for you. But yeah, I also made another handstand tutorial right here that you can check out. It might have some points that I missed in this video. So if you really want to try to reach that handstand push-up goal, I suggest you check it out. But I'll catch y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching this part of the video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like the video for the algorithm, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.